Smile! Welcome to the story of two sailors taking the long way home to Australia on a 38-foot boat called Finding Avalon. Subscribe and join the voyage. Last week you joined us for a few hundred miles at sea. We showed you how we roll on our night watches and how we keep ourselves fed on passage. Alright, so staying clean on these passages. We've got 500 litres of water in our tanks, which is plenty. We had that much on the Atlantic crossing between 4 of us and we used half of it. We've got more than enough water to get us to Niue, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be really lavish with the water. We're still going to ration it because you just don't know what can happen out here. That would mean a freshwater shower every 3 days, just a quick one as well. And then in between that...
Is that what you're doing right now?
I knew a comment was going to happen. I washed my hair today because I was in a bad mood and I wanted it to make me feel better.
And after your shower yesterday and the day before?
A really tiny shower. On a really light day when we're going definitely less than 4 knots, we would tie a rope behind the boat and then just jump in the sea and swim behind the boat. It's really refreshing and lovely. Now I don't recommend doing that if the boat's going any more than 4 knots. If you really want to do it, pull in all the sails and don't let the swell be too big. Anything more than that, we would do a bucket shower off the transom. Wear a harness, just strap yourself in to make it all safe. On a day like this, however, we wouldn't really contemplate doing that. The swell is crazy. So basically, your standards really change on these trips. He smells, I smell, and neither of us really care. So you can kind of sponge yourself off if you really want to. We've got baby wipes and saltwater tap down there. But yeah, we just tend to lower our standards and that helps get us by.
So we're finally in this southeast breeze. It's kind of the breeze we've been chasing for the last 8 days really. 18 to 20 knots out here on the beam as well. We've got 2 reefs in the main, probably 2 reefs in the jib, and we're cruising along really nicely between 6 and 8 knots. The downside of this weather system reaching us now is that they usually last, like these southeast winds usually last for about 7 to 10 days. They'll quite typically start clocking back north and then to the west before they do a full circle, and then the whole system will start again. That means that in places like Niue and whatnot, you'll be getting westerly breeze for up to say 36-48 hours before it resets back into the southeast. Niue is literally like an island in the middle of the ocean. There is no calm bay. There is no outer reef to protect you or anything like that.
They call it the rock.
Yeah, they call it the rock. So you're basically just anchoring or taking a mooring out in the middle of the ocean on the side of a rock. And so you're very exposed. And unfortunately that system's going to be there about 48 hours after we arrive. Yeah, it's going to make the anchorage really uncomfortable, and more importantly, once that swell hits, it's actually impossible to land the dinghy at the dock because it's pretty violent swell, crashing and thrashing about with waves and whatnot. So you're a little bit of a prisoner on your boat. We had spoken about diverting to a reef which is basically directly on our course from Palmerston Reef. But then we're going to be battling for about 48 hours, I reckon, upwind into about a 3-meter swell in about 20 knots. And I think that's going to be worse than being at anchor or being on a mooring at Niue.
Nailed last night by this southerly breeze. About 25 knots, but it's the swell more than anything that's making this hard. Really small swell period, so these waves are just relentless, and they're about 3 meters, and they're supposed to get bigger throughout the day. And basically this is us all the way to Niue. We've got this wind and the bigger swell. We've got about 140 miles left, so at least it's going to be less than 24 hours, and we're ripping along at 8.5 knots. So, but yeah, it's going to be one hell of a ride.
To do what?
Your own watch.
No, but I did your washing up.
That does not correspond.
Yeah.
It's not watching up. Woo!
I did. I said to you, I said, hey, if I do your washing up, can you do my watch? And you said, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going back out there. So we've got 25 knots of breeze on the beam, 3 meters of swell on the beam, 2 reefs in the main, and about 25 reefs in the jib.
The jib's quite funny actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like a jib. Probably because it never was a jib, it's a genoa.
It looks like we've got a bath towel out.
It does look absurd, doesn't it? I suggest you put a nice cool jacket on.
Yeah.
Plug in a good podcast.
The good news about being a captain is...
I don't like the way this is going. Come on.
You have to make the best decisions for you and your crew.
Yeah.
But it would not be a good decision for a captain to go out there right now.
So you're going to sacrifice your maiden for Neptune.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how good captains roll. Captain Cook would never have done that to Elizabeth.
I didn't say sacrifice, but make sure you set it in. Oh, these crossings always test us right at the end, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Right at the end.
It's not even that bad. Like, it's not by no stretch of the imagination the worst seas we've been in, but it's just the magnitude of the squalls. Like, we're surrounded by squalls and there isn't a single patch of blue sky. We haven't seen one all day, so it's just like...
It's one of those days as well that it really exhausts you because at no point can your body relax. You can't get up and do anything without like having to spider walk around the boat. And, like, your hands are sore because you're always gripping onto stuff. Like, you can't even lay in bed here without... Well, this probably looks really relaxing right now. Little does everyone know, we're on like a 15-20 degree heel and like...
Yeah, it's so much worse
I'm
than
like
it looks.
hanging on
honestly.
for dear life all the time.
Yeah, we're quite tired, so today couldn't have come at a worse time. I'm gonna read my Russell Brand book. That's what I'm gonna do.
Good luck getting through that without feeling sick.
Oh really? Maybe I'll shut my eyes. The weather stayed with us through the night, but thankfully the morning brought rainbows and the breeze swung around to the east so we could sail downwind. Amazing what the sight of land after a long sail and a patch of blue sky can do to recharge the batteries. We made it. That turned out to be 8 days at sea. No passage is a typical passage because you never know what's going to happen, but that one did turn out to be pretty typical. And yeah, we hope you got some insights from how we like to do long passages, because they're really bloody tough and you've got to find your own hacks of how to get through them. He's in full survival mode right now. How are you doing?
The last 48 hours has been really tough.
Yeah.
You always feel good when you arrive, eh?
Yeah. So what we usually do when we arrive is, as you can see, we don't have that much energy, so we don't put too much pressure on ourselves. We usually don't check in straight away, but here you have to let them know that you're here. So we're going to check in half an hour, and yeah, we usually just take it really easy for the first day that we got here. Clean the boat, because that cleans the mind, and then we normally go and look for pizza. Pretty boring, really. Smile! I knew I'd get a smile out of him. I just wanted to talk to you about how we manage rubbish on passage, because it can be quite tricky because it stinks. Conversely to probably most cruises, we don't throw anything overboard, just because we've looked into it and there's a mixture of literature on it, and we're just not convinced, really. No control over a turtle thinking it's a jellyfish, or you know, people rip sharks open and find number plates in there. It's probably only in the movies, but point of the story is you just have no control over what's going to happen to these things. So our cans and all our recycling is all in here. We just crush everything really small or cut it into pieces. Wash them squeaky clean so they don't stink. We hang on to our recycling until we find a place that has recycling. So that's going to go back in our little bin cupboard. And yeah, organics we do throw overboard. So we keep all our little organics in this jar, and then when it gets full we go and throw it into the ocean. We're at anchor now, so we're not going to do that. That's really antisocial. And you only really... Oh, don't show people our rubbish.
No, it's just showing them there's head of a pineapple in there.
We're going to put this in with our general trash. For the really stinky things, so bags that have had fish in, bags that have had meat in. I had a jar of peanut butter that was done, so I've just been cutting up and stuffing packages that I can't wash. So you just want to be really mindful of smell. This, our trash bag doesn't smell because nothing was soiled, it was just packets, just dry packets of things. And I'm just going to pop that in the general trash. These are biodegradable bin bags. They're really hard to find on this cruising track. I just stocked up loads in Panama and loads in French Polynesia. That's where you'll find them, so make sure you get those in. Oh, and Italy. Italy was really good as well. So biodegradable bin bags protect the earth. Thank you.
We need to go.
I know. Thanks for watching. Catch up with us next week in Niue. You'll get to have a little laugh at how we cope with that weather system that was forecast to pump through the anchorage. And the island itself is a real cracker.